Hey everybody, welcome to a very special episode of Hunkered Down with Seth. We have two guests. One is I invited to Crash. You'll know him. This is his third appearance after his own episode didn't do so well, but his secondary episode with Drew Barth did great. And
Always put up better numbers in concert with somebody else.
exactly. But our featured main guest is one of my favorite people. You could find her album, Gothic American, on iTunes, on Spotify, anywhere you could download something and pay for it to get her money. Virginia Jones, one of my favorite people on the planet, and Dax Jordan. So,
Yay,
And Dax,
Virginia.
that is a nice yay. That is a nice way to do Dax's introduction. Say nice things about me, and then also Dax Jordan.
Also Dax Jordan.
Yep.
I'm the
And also
grill.
Dax Jordan, the professional tailcoat writer.
exactly.
Oh man, I need to get some better tailcoats.
Oh, also pick up Dax's album.
You really do.
Pick up Dax's album, Number One Grandson, on iTunes.
Number one grandson.
Yep.
I
Spotify, wherever you could get albums. So get them money. That's the point. So the question that's on everybody's mind that we need to get right into right away, Virginia. How's Herman?
Herschel is
Herschel.
well. He's a
Damn
different
it.
Jewish name. Yeah. He his dad was just furloughed, so that has relieved a big cause of Hirsch's anxiety, because previously he didn't know why his dad was hanging out at home all day if it wasn't to throw his stuffed animal 500 times a day. He's like, what are you even doing here, man? But now his dad has nothing better to do than to throw a stuffed animal 500 times a day. Let's see, last night we watched the very funny satire film, The Death of Stalin.
oh, is that good?
It's very good.
Fantastic.
And it is an interesting, it's an interesting, like, political, kind of like a political machination thriller. But Hirsch was very, very bored by it. He doesn't like that kind of film at all, and he was very disappointed in our selection. He likes things with bears and dogs in them.
Ah.
Bears and dogs. Oh boy.
Bears and or dog, like, he really liked Grizzly Man. He didn't understand the end, but every time a bear is on television, he knows that's a dog, and he's going to growl at it. So, yeah, he's doing well. Thank you for asking. He's only 4, but he is reading at the level of a 5-year-old dog.
Oh, wow. In dog years, that's reading
really
at the
smart.
level of a 35-year-old.
Yeah, I know. He's
So
about
like
to
he's
be
reading David Foster Wallace now?
Yeah, he's reading Fight Club again.
Interesting enough, you just need the intelligence of a dog to enjoy that movie. So,
What have you been up to, Seth?
this
Making this podcast.
just reconnecting with people to keep my sanity. I've been writing for Who's the Ross. We had a great game last night called Mask or Not, where I came up with 4 fake superheroes and found 4 really lame superheroes, and they had to guess which was which.
Will you share
Yeah,
with
Seth
me
has
your favorite
encyclopedic
bad?
knowledge.
Yeah, tell me a bad superhero,
A bad superhero.
please.
Okay,
Yeah,
they're
like an obscure one.
an obscure bad superhero. Well, there's this guy named Cypher, whose power is he could speak any language or read any language, which would be
That's a good power.
it's a good power, but considering he was part of the X-Men and he had to fight Apocalypse, the Juggernaut, Magneto, it's pretty much
Right. That's an indoor kid power.
I know.
It is, but also here's the thing: all these groups are very tech heavy. And you got to figure some of the tech they get is from China, from Russia, from Germany, and the manuals are probably easier to read in the original language rather than the translation. So,
But yeah,
It's true, and all those scenes where the X-Men are like in a foreign country, or like, you know, when Wolverine went to Japan to kick ass, like Cypher could have been very helpful helping him read, you know, train schedules, menus, stuff like that.
yeah, but
like can he speak Sokovian? You know, there's all these countries
Exactly.
where they end up.
but his power's now an app.
Right. His power has been replaced by a Google app, and that's going to happen to all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's also the almighty dollar, whose power is to shoot pennies from his wrists.
Wow. That's very American. It's not as American as Prez. I never understood Prez. Do you know him?
Uh-huh.
The rapper from the
He was
Fugees.
I think he was a DC guy. It was in the 60s when they were talking about dropping the voting age to 16, and he was a superhero who just became president at like 18. Like,
Whoa.
that was it. And so not really a superhero, but like that was his thing, was youth culture.
Mm-hmm.
In the face of Nixon.
Gotcha. So his
I don't think he could.
Okay.
I don't think he could read in any different languages, though.
so his power was being a Kennedy.
Yes, his power was being Kennedy. Can you believe we thought they were good-looking then?
Well, different
Oh
times.
my god, I still think they were.
I mean,
Tell her about Arm Fall Off Boy.
Okay. Wait, what guy?
arm fall off boy.
Yeah.
He could remove his
No.
left arm and beat people with it.
Wow,
It's not even
that's
a good
really
name.
bad.
The arm doesn't fall off. It's not like he has to wait for the arm to fall off. It hits the ground and then he picks it up. He removes his arm. It's
Takes his
not
own arm
falling off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's detachable arm boy.
Not to be
But that's not what they call him.
not to be confused with the Marvel villain Forearm, whose power was he had 4 arms.
Oh, now that's a good power.
Yeah, but
Arm fall off boy sounds more like, you know, Fall Out Boy. It sounds like a really deep emo band.
well, one of the ones
Yeah.
I created was this guy named Blue Neon, whose power is his keytar shoots different projectiles depending on what chord he plays.
Well, that you've
Now that sounds
recreated
like a good real
Gem
one.
and the holograms.
Yeah, but
Oh,
his sidekick is Glamster, a super powered hamster.
That's pretty good. A word about Gem and the holograms, which you guys are ignoring because it's a girls' show.
Yeah.
I found it interesting
We don't want our
that the
dicks to
bad
fall
guys, the bad guys in Gem and the holograms were a band called the Misfits in like 1982, 1983, even though there was a real band called the Misfits that had been around for like a minute. But I guess it was the time before Google, and they're like, yeah.
Yeah,
Misfits,
no
that's
one
a
would
good
name
name.
their band the Misfits without them being actual bad guys.
I mean,
And their song went like this. It went, mischief, we're making mischief, bum, 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 bum. And the lead singer had green hair because she was so bad.
wow.
Oh my god, I'm in love.
Technically, you could have any
Yeah.
show about a band and have the villain be Glenn Danzig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the villain he's an all-purpose villain.
Yeah. And he lives
I
his
once got in a
act.
fight with Dave Hill about whether or not I had seen Glenn Danzig at LAX, because I saw a guy who looked so much like Glenn Danzig, and I tweeted about it, and Dave said, impossible, he is in New York right now. And now I still don't know what to think. Like, was he a Glenn Danzig lookalike? Does Glenn Danzig have, like, a twin that he sends out on missions? I don't know who it could have been besides Glenn Danzig.
Well,
Wow, that's
you could
doppelganger.
Yeah.
you could tell if it was Glenn Danzig is as he's coming towards you, does the temperature get colder?
That is something to think about.
Yeah.
That's something for me to look up later.
Yeah. However, the last real superhero that I want to tell you about is Beppo, the monkey that Superman's parents shot into space before they shot Superman into space.
Krypton's original test monkey, huh?
Yep.
Beppo was a hero for his kind.
Beppo de Krypton.
Exactly.
Italian Krypton fusion food.
He threw super feces.
And of course, John Hodgman's great quote about Laika, the dog who sacrificed her life to go into space. What people get very sad about Laika, but what they don't know is that she was a very bad dog and she deserved to die.
Yeah.
It's the opposite of Yuri Gagarin. They picked the worst dog in Russia.
They picked the worst dog. They're like, fucking put this dog in space and get her the fuck out of here.
Much searching. Oh, that's hilarious.
But I do worry sometimes about Laika, but I comfort myself by thinking she would probably be dead by now anyway.
I mean, unless the superpowers took hold.
Yeah. How many dogs live to 60?
All of them.
Hopefully Herschel.
Yeah.
Herschel is going to. I've had that discussion with his father.
Yeah. Herschel's immortal. Herschel drank from that cup in the Last Crusade. So.
No, that's true. That's true.
He had his own little. He drank from Jesus's dog bowl.
I wonder if Jesus had pets. If he was good to them
Well,
or not.
yeah, I think so because I think he had pets, and when they died, he would just bring them back to life, which is something I learned about the apocryphal chapters from Glenn Danzig. This is how tightly our circle goes.
Wow, the gospel according to Glenn.
He used to, like I saw a tape of him in the 80s talking about the Apocrypha, like the stuff that was too fucked up to stay in the King James Bible.
Yeah.
And one of them was a teenage Jesus bringing animals back to life.
Wait, for real?
Yeah, for real. I'm not lying
about
any of it.
Didn't one of the gifts that the three wise men bring Jesus when he was a baby was goldfish? Goldfish, frankincense, and myrrh?
It was the pretzel kind.
Yeah.
The baby Jesus, like the rest of your people, was lactose intolerant.
Oy. I mean, you don't have to be lactose intolerant to be Jewish, but it helps.
It helps.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So Virginia, how are you? How have you been hunkered down? What have you been up to?
Hey, man. Well, thank you for asking. I have been making a series of Instagram TV shows called COVID Delivery Scumbag, detailing my adventures delivering Postmates as an essential worker, even though I'm not employed by anyone. So what it essentially means is that no one gives a shit if I live or die. But I've made 5, and I'm gearing up to make 5 more, and I'm dropping them every single day on my Insta feed.
All right.
I gotta catch up. I saw the
YouTube and
intro,
on
but
Facebook.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And that's Badina Jones, correct?
Literally. And that's what?
Badina Jones? Your Instagram thing?
It's Badinia on Instagram, yeah. The name of the series is COVID Delivery Scumbag. You can get it on YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook.
All right, I'll be tuning in. You just sold yourself another subscriber.
I have hundreds of views. Thank you. But today's been my most busy day, though. I did a TikTok webinar with Elizabeth Banks' crew.
Wow.
And at 7:30, my manager is leading a Zoom Jeopardy game. So today feels almost overscheduled.
Yeah.
I had a Zoom show I got bumped off of for the evening because the booker wrote my name down on the wrong day.
Oh my God.
Right.
Maria Bamford has already been bumped off of a charity Zoom for another more famous comedian. She's like, it's just like regular comedy.
Wow.
Oh my God. Should be a law against bumping Maria Bamford.
I wonder who's the comic they got. It's probably like
yeah, who knows? Well, I just say Bill Burr for every occasion.
I say Rob Schneider.
Could have been Rob Schneider. Yeah, I was talking to. This is an introspective moment that I had. I was talking to Jackie Cation about. I was like annoyed that more people hadn't booked me on Zoom shows. I mean, I did do the very prestigious Old Rope comedy show out of London with Tiff Stevenson, and that was cool. Noel Fielding was supposed to maybe come on, but he didn't show up, so we had James Acaster or whatever.
Whatever.
Wait, hold on. Wait. Hold on. Virginia, you dropped something. Here we go. You dropped a name. I got it for you.
It's a couple names.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for getting that for me. But I was like annoyed that I'm not getting just spontaneously invited to do more Zoom comedy shows, and then I thought, why do I need other people to ask me to do Zoom comedy shows? Anyone can do a Zoom comedy show. I could just do my own. What is wrong with my personality that I'm always asking other people to invite me to stuff? And then I realized I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
You don't want to put on a show. Put on a show.
I don't want to put on a show. I barely want to do a show.
Right.
And I certainly don't want to put on a show.
Yeah.
I am having fun. Like, my roommate moved out, so my front room has become like a video and photo studio, and I'm having fun doing some of that.
Oh, wow.
And it just looks like I'm a crazy person. Like, we know we're in quarantine, so no one will come over, but if anyone did, they would know that a crazy person lives here.
It should be obvious
Dax,
as soon as you come into a place.
Yes, so like, oh, you're crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a ring light, and there's a backdrop, and there's a green screen. Oh, you're crazy. Dax, what are you up to today?
Well, I just helped Kristen do a self-tape audition because a lot of the big casting houses are like, look, everybody, here's some material,
just
pick some
throw
of
us
these.
whatever. Yeah.
We have time to look at everyone's tapes. We're just at home. We want to learn more about what you can do, so when we start shooting this shit, we can go in and be ahead of the curve. So I've helped her lay down a couple of self-tapes in the last few days.
Ahead of the flattened curve?
Nice.
Ahead of that flattened curve.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did some of those in my studio. I did Sandra Bernhardt's monologue from King of Comedy.
Holy shit.
Yeah, where she has kidnapped Jerry Lewis.
Yeah.
So I think that's good.
Fantastic.
That's
time well used.
Time well used.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're being a helpful helper.
Yeah. And like Seth, writing bits and shit for Who's the Boss, and we had a really fun episode last night, and I got some other little projects that I'm poking at here and there, and we finished Ozark last night. The new season.
Oh, you're at the end of Ozark.
Yes, we're all out of Zarks. It's such a stressful show. Very stressful. Very stressful to watch.
Yeah.
On edge.
That's not my favorite.
No.
I want to bring up a question to the room.
Right.
I've talked to Dax about it briefly, but Seth, do you know who we mean when we say Joe Fontenot?
Yes, I know Joe. I've met him a few times, and I've had nothing bad to say about him, but I've heard people have bad experiences, and also like him owing people money, but he has never done. He's never had that with me. Every time I've met him, he was a nice guy.
Yeah, no, he was a very nice guy. But it was a real emotional roller coaster. I woke up Monday to a text from our friend Augie Smith that Joe had passed from the COVID-19, and it was stunning, and because Joe was an alcoholic and a compulsive liar, allegedly. Augie said, look, even I didn't believe he had it when he said he had it. And it was the first person that I knew who it's like we all will know someone who dies from this virus, but this was the first person that I knew, firsthand.
Yeah.
And I was talking to Dax about it and other people from Portland comedy, and some people were suspicious that he had in fact died because they've lived through so much of his BS. And some people were like, oh, well, I knew he had cancer and he'd raised money for that. And finally...
We were also suspicious that he had cancer.
Yes. And then a lady running by the name of Susan Jones, who is a big personality, she called his mom and reported back that Joe has passed, but he never had COVID and he never had cancer. He just died of regular alcoholism.
Wait.
And that...
What?
Hold on.
Yeah, that's it.
This is new to me.
This is the news.
All I heard about from the phone call was that he was in fact dead.
Yeah, but then she herself posted on some things that he was dead of being a drunk person, and then follow up, and he was obviously a messed up person, and someone who I definitely will say I am glad he has found peace, because his whole life was this turmoil of compulsive lying and addiction and just weirdness and like looking for something,
Mm-hmm.
And I feel terrible that he's passed, and he left kids behind and all this shit. But there had to be a follow-up post saying, "Hey, everybody, stop calling his mom to ask for money.
You're not getting your money back."
Wow.
You're not going to see your money back. I'm sorry that you gave to his bullshit thing to raise money for his cancer that he didn't have. You gave money to an addict and it's gone. He doesn't have anything. His mom doesn't have anything. Leave him the fuck alone. And that's a beautiful coda at the end of a life well lived.
See, I have not been reading anything from her. I've been reading the post that his brother has been putting on his page, on Joe's page. And his brother is rambling and incoherent. And
he's clearly a member of the family.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
I also found out, and this is just a segment for me called Shit Talk of the Dead with Virginia Jones. I found out a little while ago, because my last interaction with Joe, Dax remembers this, we were doing a show together in the Tri-Cities, Washington, and he melted down one night, and I had to close the show, and the next day, and he was fired by the time I got off stage. And the next day, I was talking to the booker, the legendary Tribble, and I said, I'm ready to headline tonight and tomorrow night. And he said, "Oh, that's not how this works." I'm like, "Oh, it's 100%." Is it Joe's fault that he couldn't follow me? Someone who's been very serious about comedy at that point for 10 years. Just because Tribble wouldn't headline me because I'm a chick? No, it's not really his fault. But Tribble said, "You're lucky you get to finish out the weekend." And I didn't know what he meant, but I found out a couple years later that Joe had told him, Joe felt that I drugged Joe.
What?
Like that I had slipped him a roofie or something so that he would do badly on stage. So,
what?
Let the circle be unbroken. Oh my God.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Fuck.
But yes,
everything.
A troubled soul, the end of a troubled journey. But I have just found it. Yes, you're right, Seth. Many people have bad things to say. There's no point in complaining about this very troubled person. But I find the levels of bullshit in this story uniquely fascinating.
Yeah.
Uniquely.
But we'll always remember the laughter.
We'll always remember the laughter. We will, man.
Yeah. No, there's some comics that they have like such a huge bad side and have been through so much, and like done so much to other people, it's that when they pass, it's hard to decipher which stories are real or which stories like have
Right.
other layers. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
like I don't want to speak badly of this one guy because I bet you could figure it out through the description that I'm about to give, but I won't name him. He uh, he
Okay.
was a notorious joke thief up in Seattle, like blatantly stealing people's jokes, and then to the point where the joke I have about him is even his name is stolen, and then he had cancer, got an HBO special off the cancer, and now I'm saying if you get an HBO special off the cancer, aren't you supposed to die?
Well,
Definitely.
the thing about that is, and I actually was thinking about this individual who will remain unnamed, because, guys, at the moment, yes, everyone, especially people from Seattle and Portland, were furious about the special, but it didn't get him anything. It was super half-baked. It was super beginnery or, road comic-y or like whatever the fuck you want to say. It can't be found on any platform. And he's kind of in the same place as he ever was. So I took that as a great learning that the energy that I spend on being jealous of people and things they get for, nefarious reasons or reasons that I don't think are legitimate is wasted energy.
Exactly.
Welcome to my hippie corner. I've gone straight from slandering to the dead to being holier than thou. This is only part of my range.
You are dynamic from one moment to the next. Absolutely.
I love you both. But I was seriously just thinking about him. I'm like, and like, I mean, this is something that people say in LA a lot, and like you have to keep track of your own envy and your own like negative feelings because it will bite you in the butt.
Oh yeah.
But like the last season of Last Comic Standing, where I did pretty well but didn't make it onto the show, and I spent all this energy being jealous of my friends who got onto the show. 2 of them wound up doing very well, and it changed their careers. For the bulk of them, it didn't really do anything. And so it's like, if things don't happen to me, or if things happen to other people that I wish I had, I kind of can't worry about it.
Yeah.
Especially since now I have to worry about the fact that I am now right now touching my last piece of paper towel.
Ooh.
I don't have. I've decided to polish a table with it while I'm on the phone with you guys, and there is no paper towel after this, and I don't know where my next paper towel is coming from.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
There's gonna be another one.
I mean, 3 months ago, I ran out of toilet paper.
A few months ago.
Yeah. No, I've been doing toothbrush.
Oh wow, you really are detail oriented. I like that about you.
Yeah, that toothbrush has been multitasking for a while now. I might have to get another one.
See, that's why you have shit breath.
That and
A sparkling asshole.
Oh my lord.
yeah, my asshole is so sparkling. Its arch enemy is the band called the Misfits.
Yes, today is a beautiful time to remember. No matter what happens, one day we will all be dead, and who cares that you didn't have toilet paper for months and months.
I know.
But I don't know if you got my. I'm so sorry to plug my horse shit so much, but I don't know how else to live. I did note on my Facebook that the phases of quarantine follow first drinking, and then watching Tiger King, and then baking, and then Animal Crossing, and then bidet installation.
Wow.
Everyone, and next week, I think the hot thing on the charts is going to be haircuts at home, because it'll be 3-4 weeks since the last time we even could get a haircut.
I went straight from Tiger King to haircut at home.
You are advanced.
In fact,
Yeah,
he has a
make no
Tiger
bread.
King. He has a Tiger King influenced haircut. That's how.
Yeah, that's why I went straight to
Oh
it.
wow! So you got a bleach blonde mullet? Yeah.
Got all eyebrow rings.
I can't wait to see it, man.
Yeah, I got
can't
the tattoo property of Joe Exotic.
Yeah. All right.
Seth, what has been keeping you sane during this time, if anything?
Well, I've been going out a lot. Been doing clubbing. Hitting up
Oh
the
wow!
hitting
It's a
up the
great time.
bars, the comedy clubs. The beaches during the day, and I'm no what I well this show has really helped just because I've been reconnecting with a lot. In fact, earlier today I talked with Carl Warmenhoven, did a show with him.
Wow.
So I've
Nice.
just been reconnecting a lot and playing a lot of Fortnite also.
Awesome.
Builders build.
That is one of my silver linings, actually. I had a long phone call with Dax the other day, and we have, for years, we've all been too busy or perceived that we're too busy to do phone calls or felt like, oh, what if I call the person and they're busy?
Yeah.
But in an environment where almost everybody's sitting on their butt, it is re-normalized to just call your friends. And I have been enjoying that aspect.
Oh, absolutely. Although
I'm
there's
less so, being forced to talk to you people.
I'm so
It's all
sorry,
could have
Dax.
been done over text message. And,
yeah,
Yeah, just texting Tiger King, Tiger, Crown, the Needle, and maybe the dancing guy.
the dancing guy, and lots of little turd emojis.
Yeah. No, that's well noted, Dax, and I'll make sure and keep you off my phone list in the future.
Yep.
Appreciate it, everybody. All right, who's making eggs right now?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
My fault.
How dare you?
Yeah, when I don't talk a lot, I make eggs. And I got to be careful because they're pretty expensive, so I can't screw them up.
Right.
Yeah, eggs are not
In
cheap.
fact, my ladies had to sell her eggs so we could afford eggs. So.
How many eggs did she have left?
Oh, well.
A couple, 100 or so
Yeah.
in there?
Oh, by the way, did you hear about the 3 women who raced to the fertility clinic?
No.
No, tell us about that, Seth.
Last one there had rotten eggs.
That one's for the kids, right?
I'm doing
I
finger
feel like I'm
guns.
developing a leak of some sort.
I'm doing finger guns.
Finger guns. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So on that note, we're probably gonna.
That's how we're gonna close it? That's it?
Yes. Well.
Fuck a duck.
Hey, wait, I have a question
guys,
that I didn't
fuck
get to.
all the ducks.
Seth, I have a question I didn't get to earlier.
What's up?
I appreciate revisiting this. The superhero who shoots pennies from his wrist.
Almighty Dollar.
Almighty Dollar. Are pennies shooting out of his actual wrist, or has he built a wrist penny shooter?
Oh, is it a Spider-Man or is it an organic?
Exactly.
It's an organic. It's for some
Okay,
reason.
now I call bullshit then.
Well, I don't think you can have pennies in your blood. Like, is the idea that he's making the pennies?
I didn't write this. It's just some dude who.
You brought this information to us, so you have to defend it. You have a certain amount of copper in your blood, but I think if you put pennies in there, you're risking infection.
Yeah.
And is it like Wolverine, where the girl asks him, like, does it hurt? Like, Rogue asks him, does it hurt when they come out? And he says, every time. So, like, every time this man is just, like, shooting pennies and screaming. That would be terrifying.
Bursting out of his skin. Like, wow. How about a macabre superhero?
Yeah, it's really grim. And he doesn't have the healing power of Wolverine, so I guess presumptively he would just have, like, these kind of rough-edged scars, these, like, wounds on his wrists. No thanks.
Yeah, they should have called him Blood Penny. Blood penny.
Blood penny.
So
Blood money.
Yeah, that's James Bond's gothic assistant.
yeah. So
Blood money.
so
This is
to
blood penny.
so to answer the question, yes.
There we go. Now that's a closer.
There we go. All right,
That's a
Virginia, always a pleasure
Gentlemen.
talking to you. Dax, you're here. And thank you for watching Hunkered Down with Seth.